Hey, everybody. Look, it's me. It's Jim. And actually, you don't see him, but Dave Piper, our producer, is here too. Thank you for watching us. Hi, how are you? We're back again doing Harris After Dark or whatever it's called. Just some dumb show. It's brought to you by DraftKings, and we really appreciate them as a sponsor. I'll talk about them more in a little bit. But first, I have to do a little grab ass with Jim. Hi, Jim.
Hi. Yeah, hey, this is the best. We're back, and it's the unnamed show that has a name and might have multiple names. Who knows?
So how was your trip to North Carolina? That's what everybody wants to know.
It was good. It depends what you consider legal gambling. So I set up a couple proxy servers, and I got half of. Speaking of DraftKings, I got half of North Carolina signed up. So
excellent. I thought it was going to be like backroom crab shack fighting or something you were betting on.
Well, that's how you get them signed up, right? So.
Okay. All right, so we are here to do a few shows as we lead up to the season, because once we get to the season, of course, we pick every game against the spread. Not that well, but we do our best and we have fun. But for a few shows leading up to that, we're going to do preview the season futures. And if folks listen to my podcast, you heard Chris Raybon, who, Jim, this just in, it's what he does.
He's good at this, yes.
Good at this. And therefore, we're going to have a little more fun with it, but still make picks, and we think you will enjoy our picks. We're going to pick three. Today is going to be three teams each, where we're going to make a bet over or under their win total. So, Jim, we're going to do 6 of these. We're going to go relatively quick and be hilarious. So who is your first over-under team that you prefer here as a wager?
Well, first, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that Chris Raybon has this incredibly clean, calm, kind of he knows he's just smooth. He has this delivery, and I'm going to do this other thing where I just set up all these points of logic and then disarm them and go the other way. That said, I feel the Minnesota Vikings were pretty shaky last year. They won these close games. It was a one-score team. You would think, all right, regression. I'm going over. All right. Because what is it? It's only 8.5.
Can I interrupt and just tell you my number one?
Yeah.
Minnesota over 8.5.
There you go.
We share a very stupid brain, Jim. We share a very stupid brain.
We're the Kirk Cousins brothers. Okay.
We really are.
You don't want to be the Cousins brothers, but apparently that's who we are. And I just really feel it's more about what I feel about that division and that conference in general. I've had this question to people that basically helps answer why I like this team. Name the third best quarterback in the NFC. It could be Kirk Cousins. I think so.
Yeah. It could legitimately be. Would they win 13 games last year? And they went 11-0 in one-score games, and they left that ridiculous taste in everybody's mouth by losing at home against the Giants in the playoffs, where both of us were on the Giants. We felt like that was coming. We felt like some competition.
Right.
I still, what Dalvin Cook leaving is the reason they're going to lose. They're going to win. What is it? 5 fewer games.
Right.
I guess regression of luck would be a reason, but no, this was my top pick on the podcast too. I think it's pretty funny that you picked it. We're just all in on Kirk Cousins. We just think he's amazing at football.
That's what it is. I also just think Brian Flores is going to just make some magic happen. It's not a good defense, and they lost some bigger names, like Kendricks and stuff like that. But I still just think it's enough, and it's an upgrade in coaching, so that might offset the player personnel stuff.
So we are using DraftKings lines here as we speak to you because DraftKings is a sponsor and we would want to use their lines. Of course we would. They have a promotion going on right now. If you want to make any of these bets or the opposite of any of these bets, because we are who we are, they have a deal going on where if you've not played on DraftKings yet, you can download the DraftKings app. You can use the code HarrisTube, all one word, HarrisTube. And if you make one $5 bet, they'll give you $150 in bonus bets that you can then use to make other bets and have a lot at stake in these futures. All you have to do, again, is get that DraftKings app and use the code HarrisTube. That will, if you make one $5 bet, you'll get $150 in bonus bets. And we think that's swell. And DraftKings, again, we can't thank them enough for sponsoring our silly ramblings on this stuff all season long. So thank you very much to DraftKings. All right, Jim, let's get back into it, and let's get your number 2 over-under bet.
Sure. I'm going over again. It's just I'm not always going to feel this optimistic, but I feel the Seahawks are a team that could definitely go over here. Okay. I like the young defense. I think they're getting more front seven guys back. They drafted front seven again this time with tackles, and then obviously the corner at 5 overall. But most importantly, it's the division again. I think there are a couple wins baked in there between the Rams seem depleted. the Cardinals. And I'm Team Geno. I think Geno Smith, it just the guy knows how to make a sandwich.
You talking about the third best quarterback in the NFC, Geno Smith?
Right there, he's in the hot tub with Kirk Cousins, and they're both deciding,
what to order
who gets
off
out of the hot tub first.
Yeah, what to order off of
exactly.
DoorDash. Just a little extra plug in there. You didn't say the number though. Over what?
Oh, it's 8. I think it's 9.5 is the over under. So I'm looking for a 10-win season, but I feel they were right there last year, and I understand that there was some over the head play by Geno, but I think the team got better. And it just feels that they have something going here. And there's some continuity. How many quarterbacks are returning in the NFC? Like 6? So it's like it's an advantage.
It's funny that 10 wins used to seem like a big season, and now that there's an extra game, we go, oh, they could do 10? Sure, what the heck?
It's almost 5. It's 500, basically.
They basically roll out of bed with 6. All right, I'm going to do an under for my next bet. I'm going to do, people listen to the podcast, not shocked, Browns under 9.5. Sorry, Dave Piper. I could hear the groan, an audible groan in my ear, which means probably they're going to go to the Super Bowl, Dave, so don't be too sad about it. It's just that the AFC is rough. We feel like the AFC has most of the elite teams, and from year to year, we're always surprised and wrong about that thing. But, between Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City, it feels like you got 3 locked-in teams. Steelers usually are around 500, like Ravens, Lamar Jackson back should be good. It's a hard road to hoe for them. They won 7 last year, and I got to say, most of all, there's just got to be some percent chance, I've said it on the podcast, that Deshaun Watson is just not ever going to figure it out. I don't understand last year. Nobody's adequately explained to me how you forget to play and then it all magically comes back.
Right, yeah, and so some people have even used like the Pittsburgh game, for example, because fantasy-wise it was okay. He had just to use PFF, for example, he had like a 38 grade. It was disgusting. Like, it's one of the worst grades of the year. Yeah. Like, he just caught a couple long balls. Like, that's the question about last year with Rust. There wasn't even a series where you were like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
And so that's the question. And then this week, the Eagles played them in practice, and the Cleveland offensive line complained about getting pushed around. And then Mary Kay Cabot, the longtime writer, was basically just like, guys, that's called football. It wasn't a great sentence. So I just think everything rides on this Watson character, and I get the idea that they pieced together another good offseason, but I've heard that like every year with the Browns. Yeah. So.
Well, sorry, Piper. All right, your third.
All right. Well, I am going to go on an under streak here with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's a low number. What's the number?
It is 6.5. And I just think this is like a 4 or 5 win team. It was them or I was thinking about the Commanders in a similar spot. I think one of these teams is going to really dog. Like, I just think Hal might have a little bit more. I don't even know if that's true. But yeah, I think Tampa is just really an odd post Super Bowl, post Brady. It just looks like what you would expect like a yacht to look like if Tom Brady just wasn't there for 2 years, just decay.
Well, it hasn't been 2 years, but I understand.
It feels like 2 years because losing Tom Brady it's pretty painful. You've been there.
It feels. I have. It feels like being a James Harden fan, for example. Not to cross.
Exactly. It's like trusting a guy with like the mysterious beard. It's like, are you hiding your emotions? What's in there?
So it's a low number. Boy, it's a low number.
It is.
And they do still have a lot of good players. They were very, very banged up last year. But I respect the hustle. I respect the opinion. I have another over. Obviously, I'm the cockeyed optimist of this particular program. I'm going to go over on the Titans. And late word is that Treylon Burks' injury in training camp is not season-ending, is not a huge deal. It's a sprained knee ligament, and he's out for a few weeks. But fortunately, hopefully not more than that. They won 7 last year. They were 7-3 last year. They lost their last 7 games.
The defense is really good. Yeah.
Defense is good. Yeah. The offensive line is very much not good. And if I'm going to mess it up, that's going to be the problem. So the offensive line is crazy bad, or at least looks. We don't really know this stuff beforehand, but
there's reason to doubt it. Is the thing I think it's just
there is.
There's not even much at all. They signed Andre Dillard, who couldn't do anything.
You're familiar with the man's oeuvre, as they say. But they were Ryan Tannehill getting hurt for those last 3 games is why they didn't get to 7.5.
Malik Willis was like starting the punter. Yeah.
Right. Well, there was Dobbs right by the end. It was Dobbs.
Right.
So I'm going to go over on the Titans. I think they maybe win that division or at least get close. And again, with the extra game, I mean, how could they not do 7.5?
Of course. It's basically like the SATs. They just wrote their name down.
Hey,
The other under that I actually really liked was Denver. I just think Sean Payton's going to have that face all year, where it's like the Sean Payton face, but like the version that we want to see, where he just has that like the kind of that new Chucky. Like he could have the new Chucky face.
Every time Terry Bradshaw talked on that TV show, you got that Sean Payton face. He realized it was not for him. All right, we've done it. We've made it through. But you know what? We want to know down in the comments what you think. What over-under bets at DraftKings are you interested in? And tell us what you think of ours as well. Thank you so much for watching. We would love it if you'd subscribe and click the little bell, get a notification. We thank DraftKings for sponsoring, Dave Piper, the Browns fan, for producing and also not turning off my mic. For Jim, I'm Chris. Thank you for watching. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.